Welcome to this summary of good energy by Dr. Calley Means. Imagine waking up every morning feeling vibrant, clear-headed, and ready to take on the world. Picture a life where chronic fatigue, nagging symptoms, and the fear of disease are distant memories. What if I told you that this isn't just a dream, that it's within your grasp, and the key lies in something your body is doing every second of every day? Welcome to Good Energy, the surprising connection between metabolism and limitless health by Dr. Calley Means, with her brother Calley Means. I'm your narrator, and over the next hour, we're diving deep into this groundbreaking book, a book that's not just about health, but about reclaiming your vitality, your purpose, and your power. Dr. Calley Means is a Stanford-trained physician who walked away from a career in surgery to tackle a question that haunted her. Why are so many of us sick, tired, and struggling, despite living in an age of medical miracles? Her answer lies in our metabolism, the way our cells create energy, and how modern life has thrown it into chaos. This isn't a quick-fix diet book or a collection of generic tips. It's a bold reimagination of health, rooted in science, personal experience, and a fierce call to action. So, settle in, because we're about to explore how good energy can transform your life, and why bad energy might be silently sabotaging it. Chapter 1. The Energy Crisis Beneath It All. Let's start with a question. What if depression, anxiety, diabetes, heart disease, infertility, even Alzheimer's, all these seemingly unrelated conditions, shared a single root cause? That's the radical premise Calley Means drops on us right out of the gate. She begins with a memory that shook her to her core, her time as a head and neck surgeon, standing in operating rooms, cutting into patients whose bodies were falling apart, not from rare diseases, but from conditions so common we've normalized them. Obesity, hypertension, chronic inflammation, these weren't outliers, they were the norm. And then, the personal blow, losing her mother to pancreatic cancer, a disease she now believes was fueled by the same hidden culprit. That culprit? Metabolic dysfunction. Calley argues that nearly every health problem we face, physical, mental, emotional, stems from how well, or poorly, our cells produce energy. Picture your body as a bustling city of 37 trillion cells, each one a tiny factory churning out energy to keep you alive. That energy comes from your mitochondria, the powerhouses inside those cells, converting food and oxygen into ADP, adenosine triphosphate, the fuel of life. When this process hums along smoothly, you get good energy, vitality, clarity, resilience. But when it falters, you get bad energy, fatigue, inflammation, disease. Here's the kicker. Calley cites a 2019 study showing that only 12.2% of American adults are metabolically healthy. That means over 87% of us, myself included, maybe you too, are walking around with cells that are struggling to keep the lights on. Why? Modern life. Processed foods, sedentary habits, chronic stress, environmental toxins. They're like sand in the gears of our cellular machinery. Calley calls this the trifecta of bad energy: mitochondrial dysfunction, chronic inflammation, and oxidative stress. These three feed off each other, creating a vicious cycle that manifests as everything from brain fog to cancer. It's a wake-up call. Our health crisis isn't a bunch of separate problems. It's one big, interconnected mess. The siloed system, a surgeon's view. Calley's medical journey began with ambition. At Stanford Medical School, she was top of her class, then chief resident in otology, ear surgery, at Oregon Health and Science University. The system rewarded her for narrowing her focus, from biology in college, to human biology in med school, to just the head and neck, and finally to those 3 tiny ear bones. Success meant mastering less and less of the body, maybe even getting a disease named after her, like Dr. Lloyd Minor, Stanford's dean, whose Minor syndrome is all about microscopic ear glitches. But by her 5th year, that narrow lens started to chafe. Take Sarah, a 36-year-old patient who rolled into Calley's clinic with migraines so bad she lived on disability, housebound, with wraparound sunglasses and a cane for her arthritis. Sarah's chart was a novel, 100 pages from 8 specialists in a year: a neurologist for migraines, a psychiatrist for depression, a cardiologist for high blood pressure. Each had a pill, a plan, but no progress. Calley's job? Check her ears for dizziness, maybe tweak a med. She felt like a cog in a machine, not a healer. Then there's Sophia, from the introduction, 52, with chronic sinusitis, prediabetes, and a laundry list of issues. Casey operated, cleared the inflammation, but knew it had come back. The system didn't care why Sophia's nose was a war zone or how it tied to her blood sugar swings. ENT stayed in its lane, endocrinology in another. Casey realized she was an inflammation physician. Sinusitis, tonsillitis, otitis, all. Itis meant swelling, yet no one asked what sparked the fire. This is siloed health, a $4 trillion industry built on separation. Casey traces it to the Flexner Report of 1910, when John D. Rockefeller and others reshaped medicine into a specialized, drug-driven beast. It's brilliant for acute fixes, think broken legs or infections, but for chronic messes like Sarah's or Sophia's, it's a revolving door. Casey's mom, too. 5 specialists, 5 meds, no one seeing the metabolic thread tying her symptoms together until cancer struck. Silos don't connect dots. They profit from keeping us fragmented. The energy-centric shift, asking why. But what if there's a better way? Casey's epiphany hits when she starts asking why. Why was Sarah's body a symphony of inflammation, migraines, arthritis, depression? She digs into Sarah's labs, and inflammatory markers high, linked to diabetes and obesity. A PubMed search reveals over 1,000 papers tying inflammation to migraines. Suddenly, it clicks. Maybe this isn't 8 separate problems, but one big one. That one big thing? Energy, or the lack of it. Casey zooms into the cell, where mitochondria churn out ADP, the fuel for everything. Protein synthesis, DNA repair, signaling, waste cleanup. When mitochondria falter, underpowered by bad energy, cells panic, sending fear signals that summon immune cells. Those helpers rush in, causing inflammation that, if chronic, wrecks tissues. In Sarah's brain, it's migraines. In her joints, arthritis. In Sophia's sinuses, it's swelling. In her pancreas, prediabetes. Casey sees it. Bad energy at the cellular level trickles up to every disease we silo off. Contrast that with her mom's wild counterpart, a lion in the savannah. No obesity, no diabetes, no specialists. Why? Its cells get what they evolved for. Whole foods, movement, sunlight. Casey's light bulb moment grows. Modern life, sugar, stress, toxins, starves our mitochondria, sparking a cellular crisis we treat as 42 separate specialties. Energy-centric health flips that. It's not about the ear or the ovary. It's about the 37 trillion cells they're made of. Fix their energy, and the organs follow. Take Lucy, a case study from later chapters, 32, with acne, IBS, and fatigue. In a siloed world, she'd see a dermatologist, a gastroenterologist, a sleep doc, each with a cream or pill. Casey's lens says, check her metabolism. Blood sugar's off, inflammation's up, bad energy's the culprit. Tweak her diet, her sleep, and boom, symptoms fade. No silos needed. Examples in action. Silos fail, energy wins. Let's ground this with more examples. Picture a 45-year-old man, let's call him Tom, with erectile dysfunction. Siloed health sends him to a urologist. Here's Viagra, see you later. But Casey's digging deeper in her post-residency practice. Tom's labs show high triglycerides, low HDL, metabolic red flags. His bad energy's clogging blood vessels, not just below the belt, but everywhere. She cuts his refined carbs, adds omega-3s, gets him walking. 6 weeks later, no pill needed. Energy restored, top to bottom. Or think of kids today, 18% with fatty liver, a disease pediatricians once never saw. Siloed care slaps a label, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NEFLD. Meds, monitoring, done. Casey's energy lens asks, why are their mitochondria drowning in fructose from soda? Swap it for water, add fiber, and livers heal. No specialist required. Even Casey's own story fits. At 26, in residency, she's depressed, foggy, inflamed, sinusitis galore. Specialists would have siloed her. ENT for the nose, psychiatrist for the mind. But she later learns it's bad energy, sleep deprivation, stress, junk food. She shifts to whole foods, sunlight, rest, the fog lifts. Compare that to her mom's siloed fate. Pills for cholesterol, blood pressure, prediabetes. Disconnected dots until cancer connected them too late. Energy-centric health isn't hypothetical. After quitting, Casey opens a practice in Portland, focusing on cellular roots. Patients with clusters like Sarah's, migraines, pain, fatigue, see inflammation vanish with diet and lifestyle shifts. Meds drop, hope rises. It's less intervention, more empowerment, proving silos fail where energy wins. Closing, a new paradigm. So what's Chapter 1 telling us? Calley Means lays bare a truth. Siloed health is a relic, brilliant for emergencies, but blind to the chronic chaos of today. Energy-centric health is the future, a unified lens where metabolism's the maestro, conducting every cell's song. It's not about 42 specialties. It's about one question: are your cells powered right? Sarah, Sophia, Tom, Lucy, even Casey's mom, show us the cost of missing that. This isn't just a chapter, it's a gauntlet thrown down. Casey's stepping out of the ore, daring us to rethink health from the mitochondria up. Next, she'll unpack the science of bad energy's rise and how to flip it to good. For now, ask yourself, what's your silo? And what might happen if you broke it open? Stick with me, we're just getting started. Chapter 2, The Broken System and a Personal Awakening. Now, you might be thinking, if this is so obvious, why isn't my doctor talking about it? Calley gets there too, and she doesn't hold back. She paints a damning picture of a healthcare system that's less about healing and more about managing symptoms for profit. As a surgeon, she saw it firsthand. Patients on a dozen medications, shuttling between specialists, yet no one asking why they were sick in the first place. She calls it a siloed approach, treating the heart, the brain, the gut as if they're not part of the same body. Meanwhile, Big Pharma and Big Food rake in billions, keeping us hooked on pills and processed junk. Her brother Calley, a former industry insider turned whistleblower, doubles down on this. He exposes how food companies engineer hyperpalatable products, think sugar-laden cereals and chemical-laden snacks, that hijack our biology, while pharmaceutical giants cash in on the fallout. It's a conspiracy of incentives, Calley and Calley argue, and we're the collateral damage. But this isn't just a rant. It's personal. Calley shares how her mother's death was the tipping point. She'd watched her mom follow the standard medical playbook: drugs, procedures, trust in the system, only to succumb to a disease Calley now sees as preventable. That loss lit a fire under her. She left surgery, co-founded Levels, a company revolutionizing metabolic health with tools like continuous glucose monitors, and wrote this book to arm us with the truth. It's a truth she wishes she'd known sooner. We've been sold a lie that health is complicated, when really, it's about giving our cells what they need to thrive. The Broken System, a machine built to manage, not cure. Calley starts with a memory. She's 26, a surgical resident, cutting into inflamed sinuses day after day. Patients like Sophia, 52, with chronic sinusitis, prediabetes, and a revolving door of specialists. She's good at it. Awards line her wall, but something's off. Sophia's post-op gratitude rings hollow. Calley knows the inflammation will return. Why? Because the system doesn't ask why. It's a machine built to manage disease, not cure it, and she's a cog in it. She zooms out. Healthcare's a juggernaut, eating 18% of U.S. GDP, $4 trillion yearly. Yet life expectancy's dropping, the longest decline since 1860. 6 in 10 adults have a chronic illness, 74% are overweight, half face mental health struggles. Kids, 18% with fatty liver, 30% pre-diabetic, conditions unheard of 50 years ago. Calley's mom fits the stats: high blood pressure at 40, cholesterol at 50, prediabetes at 60, all normal for her age, all managed with pills, ACE inhibitors, statins, metformin, until a CT scan in 2021 reveals stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 13 days later, she's dead at 71. Unlucky, her Stanford oncologists say. Calley calls BS. This isn't bad luck, it's a broken system. She traces it back to 1910's Flexner Report, when medicine pivoted to specialization and drugs, bankrolled by Rockefeller's oil wealth. Acute care soared, antibiotics, surgeries, but chronic diseases? We're drowning. Calley and her brother Calley, a former industry insider, point fingers. Big Food spends $1 trillion yearly on ultra-processed junk, Think $68 billion lobbying against nutrition reforms, while Big Pharma rakes in $1.4 trillion peddling fixes. Opioid crisis. Same playbook. 64,000 deaths in 2016, fueled by profit. Take Tom, a hypothetical 50-year-old. Heart disease, obesity, depression. Cardiology gives him statins, psychiatry and SSRI, no one talks diet or sleep. He's a billing code, relative value units. RVUs, dictate care, not cures. Casey's mom saw 28 doctors in her lifetime, average for over 65s, 14 prescriptions yearly per American. The Affordable Care Act tried, but costs still climb, outcomes crash. It's a racket, Casey says. Patients aren't getting better, and she's done playing along. A personal awakening, from surgeon to seeker. Then comes the turning point. It's 2018, Casey's 31st birthday, months from finishing residency. She's got awards, offers from top hospitals, $500,000 in education debt repaid by prestige. But Sophia's eyes haunt her, grateful yet doomed. Casey's gut churns. I can't cut into another patient until I know why they're sick. She walks into her chairman's office at OHSU and quits. No backup plan, just a fire to understand. Her awakening's roots run deep. Born 11 pounds, 9 ounces, macrosomia, a red flag for her mom's undiagnosed gestational diabetes. She grew up watching her mom's normal decline. As a resident, Casey herself hit a wall. Depression, brain fog, sinusitis. She powered through, but Sophia's surgery in 2017 breaks her open. What's causing all this inflammation? She wonders. No med school lecture ever answered that. Her mom's death seals it. January 2021, a hike with her dad, sudden belly pain, a text with the diagnosis, 13 days to goodbye. Casey's grief ignites purpose. This isn't fate, it's fixable. She dives into nutritional biochemistry, functional medicine, cell biology, Fields medicine sidelined. She opens a practice in Portland, sunlight streaming through windows, plants everywhere. No scalpels, just conversations. Patients like Lucy, 32, acne, IBS, fatigue, flood in. Siloed Care gave Lucy creams, antacids. Casey checks her labs, sees bad energy, high glucose, inflammation. Diet shifts, sleep fixes, and Lucy's reborn. Casey's proof piles up, the system's wrong, and she can do better. Examples in action, the cost of failure, the power of awakening. Let's see this play out. Picture Emily, from Chapter 4, 28, pregnant, gestational diabetes risk. Siloed Care runs an oral glucose test, maybe metformin if it worsens. Casey's awakening hands her a continuous glucose monitor, CGM. Real-time data shows oatmeal spikes her sugar, eggs don't. She tweaks, stabilizes, thrives, no drugs, just awareness. The system would have medicated, Casey empowers. Or take Jack, imagined but real enough. 60, COPD, overweight, on inhalers. Specialists manage his lungs, ignore his diet, $153 billion yearly on respiratory drugs. Casey's lens sees bad energy, sugar clogging his mitochondria, inflammation choking his airways. Cut the junk, add movement, and Jack breathes easier. The system bills, Casey heals. Her mom's the starkest example. Siloed Care praised her health, vibrant at 71, despite rising markers, until cancer blindsided her. Casey now knows. Those markers were bad energy screaming. An energy-centric doc might have pushed whole foods, sleep, caught it early. Instead, profit won, her mom lost. Casey's awakening isn't just personal, it's a lifeline for millions. Chapter 2 leaves us with a reckoning and a spark. Calley Means exposes a system that's a gilded cage, profitable, precise, and failing us. Her mom's death, Sophia's struggle, Lucy's pain, they're casualties of a machine that manages, not mends. But her awakening lights a path. Question the why, chase the root, heal the cell. It's not just her story, it's ours if we dare. Next, she'll unpack how bad energy took hold and how we flip it to good. For now, Casey's handing us a mirror. Are we cogs or catalysts? This broken system won't fix itself, but maybe we can. Thanks for listening. Let's keep digging. Chapter 3, The Science of Good Energy. So how do we flip the script? Calley dives into the science of good energy, and it's fascinating stuff. At its core, it's about optimizing your metabolism, how your body turns food into fuel. She breaks it down. Every bite you eat, every breath you take, feeds your mitochondria. When they're happy, they pump out ADP efficiently, your blood sugar stays stable, inflammation drops, and you feel amazing. When they're stressed, say, from a sugar spike or a sleepless night, they churn out free radicals, those pesky molecules that damage cells and kick off disease. Calley introduces 6 principles of good energy eating that apply whether you're vegan, keto, or anything in between. Eat whole foods, prioritize protein and healthy fats, ditch refined carbs, time your meals to avoid constant snacking, pair carbs with fiber, and listen to your body. She's big on personalization. Tools like continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, can show you how your body responds to, say, a banana versus a cookie. Spoiler, the cookie's probably a disaster. But it's not just food. Sleep's a superpower. 7 to 9 hours resets your mitochondria and balances hormones like insulin. Exercise? Non-negotiable. Even a brisk walk boosts mitochondrial function. Stress management. Think meditation or a good laugh. Cuts inflammation. And then there's the wild card. Nature. Calley raves about sunlight, fresh air, and even cold exposure. Hello, ice baths, as ways to jolt your cells into resilience. It's ancestral wisdom backed by cutting-edge research, and she's got the studies to prove it. Ever wonder what makes you feel alive? Sharp, strong, unstoppable? That's where Calley Means takes us in Chapter 3 of Good Energy. The Science of Good Energy. I'm your narrator, and in the next 10 minutes, we're diving into the engine room of your body, your cells, and unpacking the science that powers a life of vitality. This isn't abstract. It's personal, with examples that hit home. Calley's cracking open the mystery of metabolism, showing how tiny mitochondria dictate everything from your mood to your lifespan. Ready to geek out on what fuels you? Let's go. The core of good energy, mitochondria unleashed. Calley starts small, really small. Inside your 37 trillion cells are mitochondria, microscopic power plants that turn food and oxygen into ADP, adenosine triphosphate, the energy currency of life. When they're humming, you've got good energy, clear thinking, steady weight, a body that repairs itself. When they stall, it's bad energy, fatigue, inflammation, disease. Simple, right? But here's the kicker. Only 12% of Americans have healthy metabolism. 88% of us are running on fumes. She breaks it down. Mitochondria need clean fuel, glucose, fats, and a stable environment. Modern life throws wrenches. Too much sugar floods them, spitting out free radicals that trash cells. Stress, toxins, sleepless nights, they choke the system. Calley ties it to her mom. Rising glucose, prediabetes, ignored warning signs of mitochondrial distress until cancer struck. It's not just personal, it's universal. Depression, brain cells starved of ADP, PCOS, ovaries misfiring, heart disease, vessels clogged by bad energy. Example time. Kids today, 18% with fatty liver. Why? Fructose from soda overwhelms their mitochondria, gunking up the works. Wild animals don't get this. Lions thrive on meat and motion, not juice boxes. Calley's point, good energy's our birthright. We've just lost the manual. Examples in action, from chaos to clarity. Let's see it play out. Meet Lucy, from Calley's practice. 32, acne, IBS, exhaustion. Old school docs siloed her, creams, antacids, shrugs. Calley checks her labs. High inflammation, glucose spikes, bad energy's the root. She swaps Lucy's processed snacks for veggies and protein, adds sleep tweaks. Weeks later, Lucy's skin clears, gut calms, mitochondria back online. No drugs, just science. Or picture Tom, a 45-year-old with erectile dysfunction. Hypothetical, but real enough. Docs hand him Viagra, call it done. Calley's lens spots bad energy. High triglycerides, low HDL. His mitochondria can't fuel blood flow. Cut sugar, add walks. Boom, he's back. No pill needed. Even Calley's own story fits. Residency wrecked her. Depression, sinusitis, fog. Later, she learns, sleep loss and junk food tanked her mitochondria. Whole foods, rest, sunlight. She reboots to good energy. Contrast her mom. Pills masked bad energies creep until it was too late. These aren't flukes. They're proof. Feed your cells right, and health follows. Chapter 4: Your body has the answers. How to read your blood tests and get actionable. What if your body was whispering secrets about your health? Clues to more energy, sharper focus, fewer aches. And all you had to do was listen. We're cracking open a treasure chest of tools, blood tests, wearables, that put you in the driver's seat. Casey's not guessing here. She's giving you the keys to decode your own biology, with real stories to prove it works. Ready to hear what your body's saying? Let's roll. Blood tests, your metabolic map. Casey starts with blood tests, your body's dashboard. She lists 13 biomarkers to track good energy: fasting glucose, insulin, triglycerides, HDL cholesterol, waist circumference, and more. Tight ranges beyond normal to catch trouble early. Normal isn't enough, she says. Her mom's normal glucose and cholesterol hid bad energy until cancer hit. Casey wants you proactive, not reactive. Take fasting glucose. The lab says 70 to 99 mg/dl is fine, but Casey aims for 70 to 85. Above that, and your mitochondria might be straining. Triglycerides. Labs flag over 150. She says keep it under 70 for cellular bliss. Insulin. Below 6 IU/ml, not the normal 25. These aren't random. High glucose floods cells with sugar, high triglycerides clog energy flow, high insulin screams metabolic chaos. Example, Lucy, 32, from Casey's practice, acne, IBS, fatigue. Labs show fasting glucose at 95, triglycerides at 120, normal but suboptimal. Casey knows this is bad energy brewing. Inflammation tying her symptoms together. Lucy cuts refined carbs, UPS fiber to 30 grams daily. Think kale and lentils, and retests. Glucose drops to 80, triglycerides to 65. Her skin clears, gut settles. No guesswork. Blood tests guided the fix. Or picture Tom, 50, pre-diabetic. His doc shrugs at glucose of 100, but Casey's tighter lens spots risk. He swaps soda for water, adds omega-3s. Retest shows 75. Energy's back, risk's gone. These numbers aren't just stats. They're your body talking. Casey's teaching you to listen. Wearables, real-time feedback. Then there's wearables, your body's live feed. Casey's obsessed with continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, little patches showing how food pings your blood sugar. She also loves sleep trackers, step counters, heart rate monitors, data to tweak your life. Why? Because good energy isn't static. It's a dance, and wearables show your moves. Example, Emily, 28, pregnant, gestational diabetes looming. Casey slaps a CGM on her. Oatmeal spikes her glucose to 140. Eggs keep it at 90. Emily swaps breakfast, walks post-meal, spikes vanish, baby's safe. No doc guessed that. The CGM told her. Casey's point, real-time insight beats generic advice. Or take Jake, imagined but typical, 40, burned out, foggy. His Oura ring shows 5 hours of choppy sleep, bad energy's root. Casey pushes 8 hours, no screens before bed, deep sleep doubles, fog lifts. His Fitbit tracks 3,000 steps daily. She nudges him to 8,000. Heart rate variability climbs, a sign of mitochondrial health. Casey's own story fits. Residency wrecked her. 6 hours sleep, glucose spiking. Post-quit, she uses a CGM. Bread jacks her to 150. Nuts hold her at 85. She adjusts, tracks sleep with a whoop. 8 hours later, she's sharp. Wearables aren't toys. They're truth tellers, turning vague, eat better into this works for me. Chapter 5: The 6 Principles of Good Energy Eating. What if the food on your plate could light up your cells, sharpen your mind, and keep disease at bay? Not tomorrow, but today. We're digging into a food philosophy that's less about rules and more about results. Casey's distilled years of science and patient wins into 6 simple principles. Practical, flexible, and backed by real stories. Grab a fork. Let's taste how good energy eating works. The 6 principles, fueling your cells right. Casey's 6 principles are your roadmap to feed your mitochondria, the tiny engines driving good energy. No dogma here. Vegan, keto, whatever fits you. But these rules keep your cells humming. 1. Eat whole, unprocessed foods. Ditch the factory junk. Ultra-processed stuff is 50% of our diets, spiking bad energy. Casey loves kale, wild salmon, nuts, nature's best. Example, Lucy, 32, with IBS and fatigue. She swaps cereal for eggs and spinach. Gut calms, energy soars. 2. Prioritize protein first. It steadies blood sugar, builds mitochondria. Aim for 30 grams per meal. Think chicken, lentils. Emily, 28, pregnant, uses this. Eggs over oatmeal keep her glucose flat, baby thriving. Casey's tip? Start your day with protein, not pastries. 3. Avoid refined carbs and sugars. These flood your cells, sparking inflammation. Casey's mom ate normal processed carbs. Bad energy crept in. Contrast Tom, 50, pre-diabetic. He cuts soda and white bread, swaps in berries. Triglycerides crash, vitality climbs. 4. Time your eating. No late-night snacks. Give your body a 12 to 14-hour fasting window. Casey's residency binges wrecked her. Now she eats early, rests her gut. Jake, 40, burnout case, stops at 7 p.m., sleep deepens, fog lifts. 5. Pair carbs with fiber, fat, or protein. It slows sugar spikes. Casey's black bean brownies. Beans, nuts, cocoa, beat Pop-Tarts hands down. Emily pairs rice with avocado. CGM shows a smooth 90, not a jagged 140. 6. Listen to your body. No one-size-fits-all. Use tools like CGMs to personalize. Casey found bread spiked her. Nuts didn't. Lucy learns gluten flares her IBS. Drops it. Symptoms fade. It's your biology, your rules. Examples in action. Real food. Real results. Let's see it play out. Lucy's a poster child. Acne, IBS, foggy. Casey's principles. Whole foods like sauerkraut, protein-first meals, no sugar, cut inflammation. Weeks later, she's glowing, gut steady. Tom's another win. Overweight, pre-diabetic. He ditches processed snacks for whole nuts, times meals early, pairs carbs with fiber. Think sweet potato with olive oil. Labs shift. Glucose from 100 to 80, energy back. Emily, pregnant, nails it. Protein eggs, no late carbs, fiber-rich veggies. Her CGM proves it. Stable sugar, healthy pregnancy. Casey herself lives it. Post-residency, she swaps bagels for salmon and kale. Sinusitis vanishes, mind clears. These aren't diets, they're cellular fuel-ups. Closing, your plate, your power. The 6 principles is Casey's gift. Eat for good energy, not trends. Lucy, Tom, Emily show it. Whole, smart food transforms. Her mom's processed fate warns us. These rules rewrite the story. Pick one, skip the sugar, grab some protein. What's your bite? Thanks for listening. Let's fuel up. Chapter 6, Creating a Good Energy Meal. Imagine sitting down to a meal that doesn't just fill you up, but powers you up, lighting up your cells, steadying your mood, making you feel downright incredible. We're stepping into Casey's kitchen, where science meets flavor, to build meals that fuel good energy. With her principles in hand and real-life examples on the plate, this is food you'll want to eat and feel. Hungry for health? Let's dig in. Crafting the meal. Principles in action. Casey's good energy meals aren't about deprivation. They're about abundance, built on her 6 principles. Whole foods, protein first, no refined carbs, timed eating, paired nutrients, and listening to your body. Picture a plate that's vibrant, satisfying, and kind to your mitochondria. Start with whole, unprocessed foods, the backbone. Think wild-caught salmon, kale from the farmer's market, walnuts. Casey's go-to? A salmon bowl, 6 ounces of grilled fish, a heap of sautéed greens, a sprinkle of seeds. Example, Lucy, 32, with IBS and fatigue, swaps processed snacks for this. Her gut heals, energy spikes. Next, prioritize protein, 30 grams to anchor blood sugar. That's salmon's 35 grams. Or try lentils for vegetarians. 1 cup hits the mark. Emily, 28, pregnant, builds her meal around eggs, 2 with spinach, stable glucose all morning. Casey's trick, protein first bites to tame hunger. Skip refined carbs and sugars. No white bread or soda here. Casey's mom ate processed junk, and bad energy crept in. Instead, Tom, 50, pre-diabetic, grills zucchini noodles over pasta. Glucose drops from 100 to 80. Casey's swap? Black bean brownies. 1 cup beans, nuts, cocoa, no sugar crash. Time it right. Eat early. Stop by 7 p.m. for a 12-hour fast. Casey's residency late-night binges wrecked her. Now she's dinner at 6. Done. Jake, 40, burnout case, follows suit. Roasted chicken and broccoli at dusk. Sleeps like a rock. Pair carbs with fiber, fat, or protein. Slow that sugar rush. Casey adds avocado to sweet potato. Smooth energy, not spikes. Emily pairs rice with olive oil. Her CGM loves it. Steady at 90. Listen to your body. Tweak what works. Casey's CGM showed bread spiked her. She pivots to nuts. Lucy drops gluten after noticing flares. Her salmon bowl's now quinoa-based. Symptoms gone. It's a meal that fits you. Examples in action. Plates that power up. Let's taste it. Lucy's good energy meal. Grilled salmon, steamed kale with garlic, a handful of walnuts. Whole, protein-rich, fiber-packed. Weeks in. Her acne fades. Fatigue lifts. Cells happy. Tom's plate. Grass-fed beef burger. No bun. Roasted Brussels sprouts. A dollop of guacamole. Protein first. No sugar. Paired fats. His triglycerides plummet. Energy's steady. Emily's breakfast. 2 eggs scrambled with spinach. Half an avocado. A few berries. Protein-led. Fiber-full. Timed early. Her pregnancy glows. Glucose flat. Casey's own fave. Chicken thighs. Sauerkraut. Sweet potato with ghee. Fermented. Whole. Balanced. Postmeal. She's sharp. Not sluggish. These aren't recipes. They're blueprints for vitality. Closing. Your kitchen. Your energy. Creating a good energy meal is Casey's love letter to food. Simple, delicious, transformative. Lucy, Tom, Emily prove it. A plate can heal. Her mom's processed past haunts her. These meals rewrite the future. Grill some fish. Skip the bread. What's your dish? Thanks for listening. Let's cook up some good energy. Chapter 7. Respecting your biological clock. Light, sleep, and meal timing. Ever feel like your body's out of sync? Tired when you should be awake? Wired when you need to sleep? Sluggish no matter what you eat? What if the fix isn't a pill, but a rhythm? A dance with the sun, your bed, and your plate. We're syncing up with Casey's blueprint for good energy. How light wakes your cells, sleep heals them, and meal timing keeps them steady. With real stories lighting the way. This is about living like your body was built to. Let's find the beat. Light, the master switch. Casey starts with light, your body's alarm clock. Sunlight hits your eyes, pings your suprachiasmatic nucleus, the brain's timekeeper, and sets your circadian rhythm. Morning rays tell mitochondria to rev up. Evening darkness signals rest. Modern life scrambles this. Screens blast blue light at night. Dim offices dull the day. Result? Bad energy, glucose spikes, inflammation flares. She's firm. Get 15 to 30 minutes of natural light within an hour of waking. No sunglasses, let it soak in. Midday sun keeps you humming. Avoid blue light post-sunset. Think red bulbs or screen filters. Casey's mom missed this. Decades indoors, artificial light, metabolic chaos creeping in. Example, Emily, 28, pregnant, stressed. Casey pushes morning walks, 15 minutes, sun on her face. Her glucose steadies, mood lifts, circadian reset. Or Jake, 40, burnout case. Night owl, screen addicted. He swaps late Netflix for sunrise hikes, dims lights, sleep deepens, fog clears. Casey herself, post-residency, trades fluorescent ORs for Portland's daylight, sinusitis fades, energy surges. Light's not optional, it's your cellular conductor. Sleep, the great restorer. Next, sleep, your mitochondria's recharge. Casey's clear, 7 to 9 hours, non-negotiable. During sleep, cells repair DNA, clear waste, balance hormones, good energy's foundation. Skimp, and glucose climbs, inflammation spikes. Residency taught her hard. 5 to 6 hours nightly, she's foggy, inflamed, bad energy central. Labs later show her glucose jumping. Sleep was the thief. She cites stats. 35% of Americans get under 7 hours. Chronic disease follows. Her fix? Dark, cool rooms, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. No screens pre-bed, consistent timing. Example, Lucy, 32, IBS, and fatigue. Aura ring shows 6 choppy hours. Casey pushes 8, blackout curtains, deep sleep doubles, gut heals. Tom, 50, pre-diabetic, another case, 5 hours, stressed. He tracks with a whoop, hits 8, triglycerides drop, vitality's back. Casey's mom, late nights, poor sleep, metabolic warning signs ignored. Sleep's not luxury. It's medicine, syncing your clock for health. Meal timing, eating with the sun. Finally, meal timing, eat when your body's primed. Casey says daylight hours are go time. Insulin sensitivity peaks, digestion hums. Night eating, mitochondria slack, glucose lingers, bad energy brews. Her rule, 12 to 14-hour fasting window. Stop by 7 p.m., start at 9 a.m. Residency binges at midnight wrecked her. Now she's early dinner, no snacks. Example, Jake skips late pizza, chicken and broccoli at 6 p.m. instead. Sleep improves, energy holds. Emily, pregnant, times meals. Eggs at 8 a.m., salmon bowl at 1 p.m., done by 6. CGM shows flat lines, not spikes. Tom cuts midnight ice cream, eats beef and kale early. Glucose falls from 100 to 80. Casey's black bean brownies, afternoon treat, not midnight binge, stable fuel, not chaos. Timing's your ally. Eat with the sun, rest with the stars. Chapter 8, replenishing what modernity took away. Movement, temperature, and non-toxic. What if the secret to feeling alive, vibrant, strong, clear-headed, lies in reclaiming what modern life stole from us? We're stepping back to move forward, rediscovering how our bodies thrived before desks, climate control, and chemicals took over. Casey's bringing ancestral wisdom into today, with real stories showing it works. Ready to shake off modernity's rust? Let's get moving. Movement, activating your cells. Casey kicks off with movement. Your body's built for it. Our ancestors walked miles, lifted, squatted. Mitochondria loved it, multiplying to power the effort. Today, we're at 4,000 steps daily, half what hunter-gatherers logged. Sedentary life starves cells, sparking bad energy, obesity, diabetes, fatigue. Casey's fix, move often, move smart. She loves walking, 8,000 to 10,000 steps daily, especially post-meal, to cut glucose spikes by 30%. Resistance training, lifting weights, bodyweight squats, builds mitochondria too. No gym needed, consistency's key. Example, Tom, 50, pre-diabetic, stuck at 3,000 steps. Casey nudges him to 8,000. Park farther, walk after dinner. Glucose drops from 100 to 80, energy climbs. Lucy, 32, IBS and fatigue, adds squats, 10 minutes thrice weekly. Her mitochondria perk up, gut steadies. Casey's residency days? Minimal movement, bad energy ruled, sinusitis, fog. Now in Portland, she hikes, lifts, vitality's back. Her mom sat too much, metabolic decline followed. Movement's not luxury, it's cellular fuel, walk it out. Temperature, waking your system. Next, temperature, hot and cold as metabolic jolts. Modernity's 72 degrees Fahrenheit bubble dulls us. Ancestors thrived in extremes. Cold exposure, think 55 degrees Fahrenheit showers, sparks brown fat, burning calories, boosting mitochondria. Heat, saunas at 170 degrees Fahrenheit, ramps circulation, cuts inflammation. Casey's hooked. Cold plunges wake her cells, saunas mimic fever's cleanse. Example, Jake, 40, burnout case, foggy. Casey suggests 30-second cold showers, heart rate variability jumps, alertness kicks in. He tries a 20-minute sauna weekly, stress melts, sleep deepens. Emily, 28, pregnant, can't sauna but dips feet in cold water. Glucose steadies, she's refreshed. Casey's on shift. Post-residency, she's cold showering in Portland. Sinusitis fades, energy holds. Her mom? Constant AC, no thermal challenge. Bad energy crept in. Temperature's a free hack. Turn the dial, feel the spark. Non-toxic living, clearing the clutter. Finally, non-toxic living, modernity's chemical soup, plastics, pesticides, air pollution, chokes mitochondria, driving inflammation. Casey's ruthless. Swap plastic bottles for glass, filter water, ditch Teflon for cast iron. Indoor air? Plants, open windows. Food. Organic when possible, fewer toxins, better fuel. Example, Lucy's kitchen overhaul, glass Tupperware, filtered tap. Her IBS eases, inflammation drops. Tom, pre-diabetic, cuts pesticide-laden snacks for local apples. Triglycerides fall. Casey's mom drank from plastic, cooked in non-stick. Toxins piled up, unnoticed. Casey now? Portland home's a sanctuary. Clean water, clean air, good energy flows. Toxins aren't fate. They're choices. Clear them out. Replenishing what modernity took away is Casey's rally cry. Move like you mean it. Shock your system. Strip the toxins. Tom's steps. Jake's chill. Lucy's cleanse. They're proof it's not nostalgia. It's power. Her mom's modern trap warns us, don't settle. Take a walk. Try a cold rinse. Grab a glass bottle. What's your reclaim? Thanks for listening. Let's recharge the old way. Chapter 9 Fearlessness. The highest level of good energy. What if the truest sign of health wasn't just a strong body, but a fearless soul, unshaken by doubt, alive with purpose, free to chase what matters? We're exploring how good energy, those humming mitochondria, unlocks more than vitality. It unleashes courage. Casey's weaving her own journey with patient wins to show how cellular power fuels a life without limits. Ready to ditch fear and step into boldness? Let's soar. Fearlessness, the pinnacle of cellular power. Casey frames fearlessness as good energy's crown jewel. When your cells are fueled, glucose steady, inflammation low, mitochondria firing, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. That physical foundation flips a switch. Fatigue fades, brain fog lifts, and fear, biological, mental, societal, loses its grip. It's not abstract, it's science meeting spirit. She ties it to evolution. Ancestors with good energy hunted, explored, connected. Fear was a signal, not a shackle. Modern bad energy, sugar spikes, sleep loss, toxins, traps us in survival mode, anxious and small. Casey's proof? Her residency days. 5-hour sleeps, junk food, inflammation, suicidal thoughts crept in, fear ruled. She reboots. Whole foods, sunlight, 8 hours, and courage blooms. She quits surgery, risks it all, finds purpose. Fearlessness isn't reckless, it's clarity, your body's signal to live big. Casey's mom lacked it. Decades of bad energy, managed by pills, left her fragile, not fearless, until cancer stole her chance. Good energy, Casey says, is the bedrock of a fearless life. Examples in action, from fear to freedom. Let's see it unfold. Take Lucy, 32, from Casey's practice, IBS, fatigue, anxiety. She's afraid to leave home, tethered to symptoms. Casey's playbook, protein-rich salmon, 8-hour sleep, no sugar, cuts inflammation. Labs improve, glucose from 95 to 80, triglycerides drop. Weeks later, Lucy's hiking with friends, fearless, good energy unshackles her. Or Emily, 28, pregnant, terrified of gestational diabetes. Casey hands her a CGM, eggs over oatmeal, walks in sunlight, glucose holds steady. Fear of a sick baby fades. She's bold, empowered, planning a vibrant future. Her cells hum, her spirit rises. Jake, 40, burnout case, another example. Stuck in a job he hates, foggy, scared to change. Casey pushes movement. 8,000 steps, cold showers, early meals. Mitochondria wake up, clarity hits. He quits, starts a passion project. Fearlessness isn't bravado. It's Jake saying, I've got this. Casey's own leap shines brightest. Post-residency, she's at a crossroads. Stay safe in surgery or risk everything. Her mom's 2021 death, 13 days from diagnosis, ignites her. Psilocybin trip later, she's weeping in nature, fearless, launching a practice to heal root causes. Good energy fuels her defiance. System be damned, she's free. Contrast her patient Tom, 50, pre-diabetic, pre-Casey, tired, fearful of decline. He lifts weights, cuts toxins, triglycerides crash, confidence soars. He's not just healthier, he's unafraid, starting a side hustle, living louder. Fearlessness is good energy's gift, cellular power, fearless purpose. Fearlessness is Casey's summit. Good energy isn't just abs or labs, it's liberty. Lucy's hikes, Emily's calm, Jake's leap, Tom's boldness. Proof that fueled cells fuel courage. Her mom's trapped life warns us. Casey's fearless pivot inspires us. Fear's a symptom, bad energy's chains. Break them, move, eat, sleep right. What's your fearless move? Thanks for listening. Let's live unbound. Part 3: The Good Energy Plan. Imagine a roadmap to feeling incredible, not in years, but weeks, where your body hums, your mind sharpens, and your life expands. That's the heart of Good Energy S Part 3, The Good Energy Plan. I'm your narrator, and over the next 20 minutes, Calley Means is laying out a plan that's less about rules and more about results. This is where her science, her story, her mom's loss, her own awakening, turn into steps you can take today. From blood tests to bites, walks to wonder, she's got examples proving it works. Ready to power up your cells and your life? Let's hit the trail. Step 1. Know your body, biomarkers, and wearables. Calley's plan starts with intel, knowing your body's signals. She lists 13 biomarkers: fasting glucose, aim for 70 to 85 mg/dl, insulin, under 6 IU/ml, triglycerides, below 70 milligrams per deciliter, HDL, waist size, to spot bad energy early. Normal won't cut it. Her mom's normal hid metabolic rot. Wearables like CGMs, Oura rings, Fitbits track glucose, sleep, steps, real-time feedback. Example: Lucy, 32, IBS and fatigue, glucose at 95, triglycerides at 120, normal but off. Calley's tighter lens flags it. Lucy tweaks diet, retests, 80 and 65, symptoms fade. Emily, 28, pregnant, uses a CGM. Oatmeal spikes her to 140, eggs hold at 90. She adjusts, thrives. Calley's residency fog. Sleep tracker shows 5 hours. Pushing to 8 clears it. Know your numbers, know your power. Step 2. Eat for good energy, fuel the cells. Next, food. Calley's 6 principles. Whole foods, protein first, no refined carbs, timed meals, paired nutrients, listen to your body. Think salmon, kale, nuts, 30 grams protein per meal, 30 grams fiber daily, no late-night junk. Her black bean brownies beat Twinkies every time. Example: Tom, 50, pre-diabetic, swaps soda for water, burgers for beef with broccoli. Glucose drops from 100 to 80, energy's back. Lucy trades cereal for eggs and sauerkraut. Gut heals, fatigue lifts. Emily's breakfast: eggs, spinach, avocado, keeps her pregnancy steady. Calley's on shift: bagels out, salmon in, sinusitis gone. Her mom's processed diet: a bad energy trap. Part 3 rewrites that fate with every bite. Step 3. Move, sleep, detox, restore the basics. Then, lifestyle, movement, sleep, non-toxic living. Walk 8,000 steps, post-meal cuts sugar spikes. Lift weights, mitochondria grow. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Calley's residency skimping spiked her glucose. 8 hours now heals her. Detox, glass over plastic, filter water, ditch Teflon. Example: Jake, 40, burnout, 3,000 steps to 8,000, cold showers, 8 hours sleep. Fog clears, he's bold. Tom adds squats, cuts toxins, triglycerides crash. Lucy's plants and filtered tap ease inflammation. Calley's Portland life: hikes, clean air, powers her up. Her mom's sedentary, toxin-heavy years. A warning: Part 3's the antidote. Step 4. Fearlessness, live the outcome. Finally, fearlessness, good energy's peak. Fueled cells free your mind, spark purpose. Calley quits surgery, risks all post-mom's death, fearless. Lucy hikes again, unafraid. Jake ditches a dead-end job, courage flows. Emily plans boldly, not timidly. Tom starts a hustle, vitality breeds guts. Good energy isn't just health, it's freedom. Part 3's promise. The Good Energy Plan is Calley's gift. Know your body, eat smart, move right, live fearless. Lucy, Tom, Emily, Jake, they're proof it's not theory, it's transformation. Her mom's loss drives it. Don't wait. Check a lab, skip the soda, take a walk. What's your step? Part 4 Good Energy Recipes. Picture this: A plate piled high with food that's not just delicious but lights up your cells, fueling energy, taming inflammation, making you feel downright unstoppable. We're stepping into Casey's kitchen, where science meets flavor. These aren't fussy chef tricks. They're simple, hearty dishes built on her 6 principles. Whole foods, protein first, no junk, timed right, paired smart, and tuned to you. With real-life wins to taste, this is food that heals. Hungry? Let's cook up some good energy. The recipe philosophy, food as fuel. Casey's recipes aren't about restriction. They're celebrations of what feeds your mitochondria best. Rooted in her 6 principles: whole, unprocessed foods, protein as the star, no refined carbs or sugars, timed for your clock, paired with fiber, fat, or protein, and personalized. They're blueprints for good energy. Think 30 grams of protein, 30 grams of fiber daily, omega-3s, fermented goodness, no processed junk in sight. She's clear. Food's your first medicine. Her mom's processed diet, decades of bad energy, taught her that. These recipes flip the script: nutrient-dense, blood sugar steady, inflammation lowering. From breakfast to dessert, they're flexible, vegan tweaks, keto options, but always whole. Casey's Kitchen in Portland churns out winners like black bean brownies and salmon power bowls. Proof you don't sacrifice taste for health. Patients like Lucy and Tom eat this way, ditch symptoms, and thrive. This is food with purpose. Let's taste it. Recipe highlights, dishes that deliver. Let's sample the menu. Start with the salmon power bowl: 6 ounces wild-caught salmon, grilled, atop sautéed kale and spinach, sprinkled with walnuts and a drizzle of olive oil. Protein-rich, 35 grams. Fiber-packed, 10 grams. Omega-3. Loaded, Casey's go-to. Lucy, 32, IBS and fatigue. Makes it. Her gut calms, energy spikes in weeks. Next, good energy breakfast scramble: 2 eggs, scrambled with spinach, half an avocado, a side of sauerkraut. Protein first, 20 grams. Fermented punch, no sugar spikes. Emily, 28, pregnant, swaps oatmeal for this. Her CGM shows a flat 90, not 140. Baby's happy, she's steady. For lunch, chicken and broccoli stir-fry, chicken thighs, broccoli, garlic, coconut aminos, sesame seeds. Whole foods, 30 grams protein, paired fats, timed early. Tom, 50, pre-diabetic, trades fast food for this. Glucose drops from 100 to 80, vitality's back. Snack time, nut and seed mix, almonds, pumpkin seeds, a few berries. Fiber, fat, no refined carbs. Casey munches this in Portland, keeps her sharp. Jake, 40, burnout case, grabs it over chips, fog lifts, no crash. Dessert seals it. Black bean brownies, 1 cup black beans, almond butter, cocoa, stevia, baked into fudgy bliss. Fiber-rich, 15 grams. Protein-packed, 10 grams. No sugar rush. Casey's patients rave. Tom swaps ice cream. Triglycerides plummet. These dishes aren't just meals, they're cellular fuel-ups. Examples in action: real lives, real plates. See it work. Lucy's salmon power bowl heals her gut. Good energy in every bite. Emily's scramble steadies her pregnancy. Fear fades. Tom's stir-fry and brownies reboot his labs. Prediabetes retreats. Jake's nut mix powers his day. Burnout's history. Casey herself? These recipes, post-residency, clear her sinusitis, sharpen her mind. Her mom's processed past haunts her. Part 4's plates rewrite that story. Health on a fork. Closing, your good energy kitchen. Good energy recipes is Casey's love song to food. Simple, tasty, transformative. Lucy, Emily, Tom, Jake prove it. Eat this way, live bigger. Grill some salmon. Skip the junk. What's your dish? Thanks for listening. Let's whip up some good energy. Conclusion. So, what's the takeaway from good energy? Calley Means has given us a manifesto disguised as a health book. She's shown us that the epidemic of chronic disease isn't inevitable. It's a symptom of a world that's lost touch with what our cells need. But the power to change it? That's in our hands. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Start small. Swap the soda for water, take a walk, get curious about your blood work. The ripple effects are massive. What I love about this book is its honesty. Calley doesn't sugarcoat the mess we're in. Healthcare's broken, food's rigged, but she doesn't leave us hopeless. She's angry, sure, but she channels it into a roadmap. Critics might say her advice feels privileged. CGMs and organic kale aren't cheap, but she counters that the basics, sleep, movement, real food, are free. For me, the real gem is her optimism. Our bodies are resilient. Give them half a chance, and they'll fight to heal. Good energy is a call to wake up, to reject the status quo, to fuel ourselves right, and to live with purpose. It's not just a book, it's a movement. So what's your next step? Maybe it's a hard look at your pantry. Maybe it's a chat with your doctor. Whatever it is, Casey's cheering you on. Because good energy isn't just health, it's life itself. Thanks for listening, and here's to powering up yours. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe to receive notification of upcoming recordings. See you in next video.